So I want to talk about libido on a fruitarian diet. It's a controversial subject. I don't claim to be an expert in any manner, but I will share my experiences. This is my experience so far on this diet for more than 2.5 years. So it's of my experience that if you eat a diet of low-fat, raw fruits and vegetables, primarily fruit being the source of your calories, you'll experience, or certainly I've experienced, having I would call it a more manageable libido. Now, what does that mean? This is a little bit of an embarrassing subject. Posting every detail about my personal life on the internet for the world to see is something that I still have mixed feelings about. But I'm pretty confident in who I am, and I'm pretty comfortable with myself, and I don't mind necessarily if other people know about these things. So when I stopped eating overt fats for quite a while, and my body fat got down to about 3%, I noticed that my libido wasn't as powerful as it had been in the past. I looked at women, and beautiful women in magazines, with a little bit different eyes. I admired their beauty more than the idea of, sexual activity with them. And I've noticed this quite a bit in the last 1.5 years or so, since I really gave up eating overt fats. I'm not driven, my actions aren't driven by, let's say, hormones or my libido. I have a libido, and I think it's very healthy, and it's something that I'm in control of, and the longer I don't eat overt fats, the more I feel like overt fats drive your sexual feelings. I've noticed that when I have overt fats, my libido goes up quite a bit and very quickly. You've all probably heard about how durian, which is a relatively high-fat content fruit, causes libido to rise quite a bit. I find that interesting that it has a high fat content, and that's what probably drives that experience people have with durian. When I have avocados, or even when I have durian, I definitely notice an increase in my libido. I find that when my body fat content dropped down to 3%, my libido was more stable. There's a theory that I've heard that I'll share with you, and it's controversial. Certainly there's people who are going to think I'm crazy, and I'm not saying that I necessarily believe this, but it's just something I've heard and thought about myself. And let's say you're a teenage boy, and you're out with a group of friends, and you're talking about, a scenario. Let's say you're on an airplane, or you're on a sinking ship, and death seems inevitable. And, as growing up as a teenager, the question was, well, if you were sitting next to a beautiful woman, would you ask her if she wanted to have sex? Or, who would you want to have sex with, as your last opportunity before you would die inevitably? Now, it's juvenile, and it's almost comical to even discuss these things. But there's something in this idea that has greater significance. If death is imminent, or let's say your health is compromised, almost your last instinctual thought is to procreate, is to mate. And I think this is instinctual. I think this is something that's inborn. And the idea or the theory that if your body is ill, let's say you're tremendously overweight, let's say your body has, really bad health, and you're eating a diet of high overt fats, it could be one of the reasons why people have these extremely hyperactive libidos. their body is ill, and they're having this instinctual idea or feeling to mate, procreate, and I think that's an interesting idea. I don't have a sick body. I'm very healthy right now. Death is not imminent. My body is running very, very strong right now. I don't have this over hyperactive libido. I believe that in nature, having a hyperactive libido is a liability. And it's not that I don't enjoy sexual activity. I think I enjoy it more than most people. But it's not something that my body is driven by. In nature, most animals mate once or twice a year. In most cases, just in the springtime or in the late fall. And I think that's something to think about. I think people that want to be sexually active multiple times per day, I wouldn't be surprised if they were usually, in most cases, severely overweight and eating a diet comprised of meat, animal products that have tremendous amount of hormones in them, and just a lot of fat. So if my theory holds true, it's not my theory, but if the theory of, if your body is sick and you're severely overweight, your libido is going to be hyperactive, if that's true, then I feel very healthy right now. I am a healthy person. I love my wife. We have great times together, sexually and non-sexually, and it's just an experience that I wanted to share with you all. It's something that I think you would all find very interesting. I don't think it's unhealthy if you're doing this diet to kind of question why you're not thinking about sex or why you're not craving sex all the time. It's a great benefit to the diet. You feel healthy, you feel good, you are able to be sexually active when you want, and when you don't need to be sexually active, it's not a problem, and you don't feel deprived. It's a freedom. It's wonderful. So just a great experience that I've noticed in this diet. I just want to share that with you, even though that I'll probably get lots of comments, including my family members wondering why that I'm sharing this with the general public. Anyway, very passionate about my diet. I think that most people should try this diet, give it a good 30-day shot, and if your body fat gets down low, I'm sure you'll find that this is a benefit and not some kind of bad reaction that your body's having. So there you go. I did it. Bared my soul with the whole world.